Hi guys, this is Shishant and welcome to VO Gamings and Technologies. And today I'm going to discuss on HTTP Apache web server. Let me share my screen to you guys first. Coming to HTTP web server, guys. So a web server is a network that serves a content to a client over a web. So suppose if we create any web pages to the client and we give IP address to them. So from over the network, they are going to view that web pages over the network. That means through the IP. So web servers are also known as HTTP, that is Hypertext Transport Protocol servers. And the most popular web servers are first is HTTP and other one is Nginx. So compared to HTTP and Nginx, Nginx has more advanced feature over the HTTP server. So to publish a website, you need either a static or dynamic web server. What is it? Static and dynamic web server is? It's an IP address. It requires an IP address to view the content. So what we are giving content to the client, they require a static IP address or a dynamic IP address. So Apache HTTP web server. Apache is an open source web server deployed by the Apache Software Foundation. Even the Nginx and even the Tomcat server has also found by this Apache Software Foundation. It was developed by Apache Software Foundation. Okay. A web server is a network that serves content to a client over the web. This is typically web pages. So I'm going to discuss on the web pages in the meantime. So this is a solid and stable web server that has been around for years. We already know that HTTP is a web server where we are seeing from a long time. It is also an option to use SSL protocol, making websites safe and secure. Safe and secure means if we use SSL protocol, we are also using HTTPS, that is S means secure. So SSL protocol is that whenever you send a data over the network to one person to another person, there will be no attacks. So if you use SSL protocols, so it is very safe and secure to send your data over the network. So these are the main configuration files for HTTP web servers. So we need a package HTTPD and documentation root location is var www whtml configuration. This is the main configuration file, guys. So whenever if the interviewer asks you what is the configuration file for HTTP, that is Apache HTTPD server, you have to say /etc httpd conf/httpd.conf. And auxiliary directory is this, all the main configuration files are stored in this auxiliary directory, that is /etc httpd conf.d. So there is no much difference, guys, in configuration files or auxiliary directory. There is no much difference, only .d is the difference. See, if you check this out, see, it is only added welcome.conf in default web page. So whenever you guys configure HTTPD server, there is a default web page it is going to occur. That is this configuration file. So guys, so if interviewer asks you that what is the default file if we configure HTTPD, you have to say this configuration file. Now, what is the default page for HTTPD? You have to say etc httpd conf.d welcome.conf. That's it, guys. So if the interviewer asks again what is the root where we can keep our web pages, you have to say this in http where www html. You have to say this documentation root location. That is where we keep our web pages. So guys, listen carefully. configuration file, documentation route, default web pages. These are very important for an interviewer who asks. So please go through all these configuration files, and there is a log file location also where we can check the logs, access underscore logs, error underscore logs, where we can see all those files. What is the daemon service for HTTP? That is HTTPD. What are the ports? 80, and S for SSL 443. Okay, so this is an example which I have written over here, wherein this is a sample web page which I have written. So if you go through my video in each everything, once you configure HTTPD, you can write this sample HTML in document root location, and then after HTML, when you come out of the root location, you have to give Apache CTL graceful. Every time, no need of restarting the services. That means so daemon service, that is HTTPD. That is not required. If you write an HTML pages, and if you want to save it, if you want to make the changes what you have done, if you write Apache CTL grateful, that is enough. No need to do systemctl restart, or else you no need to do systemctl start and start the service. No need to do. It's just Apache CTL graceful enough. All the changes will be get updated. See, here you can see Apache graceful restart means reloading the Apache configuration, that is httpd.conf, without restarting the web server. Okay, testing a web page connect with the browser. Once I'm going to show you guys. Now, what you have to do is you need a server which is installed in any of the operating system. So, by default, I have been using AWS. So, I want you guys, the guys who are watching my video, it is a free tier AWS. If anyone are using AWS, they will know. And AWS is an open source free software. So please install it, guys. This is for your benefit, and it is very good practice if you have AWS and you can remotely connect it to SSH, like RDP in your PuTTY or shell, shells, cloud shell, etc. And coming to the web server, guys, you first you have to do is that launch instance. And in the launch instance, what you have to do is, now we are going to configure HTTPD, right? Just write Apache web service is enough, I think. Web server. Just give any name, whatever guys you want. And in this, I'm going to take Red Hat. You can also take AWS, Linux, Ubuntu, whatever familiar with you. Means whatever technology. I mean, like there are many flavors in Linux. So it's your wish, guys. And I'm taking Red Hat. So Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 HVM, and it is a 64-bit AMD. This is the username for what we have to going to log in. And here I can see it is a free tier eligible, whichever I've selected right now. And here is a key pair, guys. You must have the key pair. That is very important for you guys. And I've already created a couple of key pairs, which I've already have. So I will take one of the name like this Chakla is a key pair. And the guys, what is the HTTPD port? It is 80. 80 is mandatory. SSH is to connect the launches instance from RDP, that is remote desktop. We can connect it from Cloud Shell or anything. And or you can also connect it from this thing, git bash. Okay, and here I'm allowing the port 80, that is allow HTTP traffic from the internet to set up an endpoint. For example, when creating a web server, I'm going to create a web server, right guys? So I require this port, that is 80 is mandatory. I'm enabling that port. And 10 GB up to 30 GB, you can configure guys. After 30 GB it is going to cost you guys, so 10 GB is enough for now. And I'm going to click on launch instance. Yeah, it's done guys. Go to EC2 and instance is running. Click on refresh. One is process C. I have successfully created a HTTP web server, but I haven't configured it. But I am in this instance, we have a Linux operating system. So in that operating system, I'm going to configure a HTTP web server. So let me just check whether okay, keep here. Yeah, keep here is very important, guy. Without keep here is like a password. That's it, guys. Keep here is just a password where you need it to log into the git bash or putty or anything. So first, what one we have to copy the public IP address from AWS. See, I have selected this and the public IP, it has been reflected over. I have copied it, minimize it, and open git bash. And in git bash, just maximize this, do ssh space hyphen I. Let's do this, guys. I have Keeper in my downloads. Let's wait. I think we can do it in this, guys. Just wait. We can do it in by default. Windows is giving us shell, Windows shell, PowerShell. You can do it over here. Yeah, it is very easy. So it is just a practice purpose, guys. So CD space downloads, not documents. I want downloads. Okay, see guys, I've got downloads. Let's go to that downloads. Do ls once. I have many things in this, but my key pair I've already selected Chakla, right? So I need that thing. I need that file. It should be in this. Okay, where it is? Okay, you can do this. Let's do SSH space hyphen I CHA. See, I've got my PEM file. See, guys, whenever this why I'm talking about keeper, because it is like a password for us. So without password, how can you log in, right? And is what is the username, guys? Easy to hyphen user at the rate. What is the public IP? Which I have copied already. Let's just see whether it is going to come or not. Otherwise, I am going to copy public IP once again. See, I'm copying it. I've copied it and then do, yeah, login. Yeah, I want to log in. Yes. See, guys, I have logged into my user account. So this is a local machine IP address, and this is the username. So guys, so whenever if you want to configure anything, whether it can be HTTP or Nginx or Apache, Maven, Jenkins, anything, you have to be administrator. That is root. What is the command to get into the uh, root? That is sudo space hyphen I. Good. I am in my root now. So I am the admin now. So guys, but I want to change this local IP because in the environment when you're working in an organization, you cannot keep IP addresses. Why? Because if a person comes and log into the account, if he sees the IP, he doesn't know what server he has still logged into. So as a DevOps engineer, we have to configure these IPs also, because if a unknown person comes and logins to the system, if a new not unknown person, you can take the new person. If the new person comes and log into the system, immediately he should know that this is a Apache web server, this is a Maven server, this is a Jenkins server. So for that you have to do the changes. For that, the command is hostname space. I'm naming it as web server, Apache web server host name. Okay, I think the host name should change now. Good, I have changed it, man. See, I have changed the host name, and when I type host name over here, it came web server, but it hasn't changed over here. So for the changes, we have to go to the configuration file. That is vim space slash etc slash hostname. This is a configuration file to change the local machine to IP address. I mean IP to name. Click on enter. Go to hostname. Click on enter. Okay, Vim command not found. I think Vim is not there in this Windows partial. Why don't we try Vim and I are both editors with anything we can use. etc host name. Yep, it worked. I for insert. I want to hash. I mean, like I want to comment it. So if we put a hash in front of the line, it is nothing. It means nothing. Not for that. And type I want to write the name as web server for the local machine IP. I want to change that IP. You can also, that is IP to name, name to IP, guys. Here I can also give a web server dot your organization, any organization.com. That in that way. Shift colon WQ exclamatory mark enter. I have saved it, and let's just check whether it worked or not. Nope, it not work, guys. What do I have to do? Do exit. I've logged out. Again, get into the root. See, I have successfully changed the IP to name to IP. That is FQDN, fully qualified domain name. Yes. Now, before installing HTTPD web server, why? Because we are configuring web server, HTTPD web server. Before configuring it, first thing is first, before installing anything, you have to check what operating system you are into. That is cat slash etc. How to check, guys? How to check your version? Red Hat. Cat slash etc. Red Hat. Now, my Red Hat Linux release is operating system is 9.5 Pro. Now, before installing any applications, like whether it can be HTTPD, Nginx, or Tomcat, anything, before installing it, you have to be up to date of your software. That is your operating system. you have to be up to date. For that command is yum update space hyphen y. I'm installing. And why I'm updating, because if I install any software, if I miss any dependencies, it requires Linux up to date again. So before that, only I'm to get before getting any glitches in our web servers. Before that, only I'm updating my operating system. Do enter, guys. I think it is going to take some time because operating system has many files, plugins, jars, libraries, many things. So that operating system is going to take at least 2 to 3 minutes, I think. Let's just see. I think we can also do in git bash, guys. So we can go to our downloads. So whenever we download a key pair, those things will go to download, right? So I haven't found it in git bash. So I think I have to move my path from there. So that is why I'm using Windows PowerShell. We can also use putty, but it reads a ppk file. So guys, whenever I said that in AWS, when you create a key pair for Windows PowerShell and Git Bash, you need a PEM file, pem file. Whenever if you log in into putty, you need a ppk file, .ppk. See, there is a difference, guys. Whenever you create a key pair from AWS, read it. If you read, then you will get to know what is what. So whenever if you keep reading it, guys, maybe interviewer can ask you questions from there only. From reading whatever you are executing the commands, if you read those commands, if you read those things, whichever you are selecting, then you will get to know, guys. That is very much good habit. If you read and configure it, then 100% you are going to crack the interview. And why am I discussing all these things? Because guys, I want you guys to be get familiar with what I am teaching you guys. Okay, my Linux is up to date now. uh, Check again, yum update space hyphen y. It will say nothing to do because it has already installed, right guys? See, nothing to do because it is up to date. Click Control L to clear, means everything is going to be clear for you guys. I'm increasing the fonts of this root at the read web server. And now, guys, here is the main thing you have to do. What you have to do, yum space install HTTPD space hyphen y. Not HTTP, guys. It's HTTPD. See, I'm showing you guys once again. Please, guys, go through this. See, what is the package name? HTTPD, not HTTP. And the service name HTTPD. What are the port for HTTP? 80. Okay. Yes. Now click on enter. See, my file is installed. Yeah, it has been, my server has installed. To check this, rpm hyphen a http to check whether my service is installed or not. HTTP web server. Okay. See guys, RPM version. This is the HTTP. You can also check with the command RPM hyphen QA HTTPD. See guys, HTTPD version 2.1 something, 2.4.62 underscore 64. So my service has been installed, guys. Okay. Now I want to enable this service. So enabling the service means I want to start the web server. I have installed successfully, but do I have to start the service or not? If I start the service only, I'm going to create a web page to the clients, right? Further, the command is I'm starting the service, guys. Let's just check status of this service. Okay. Further, the command is status systemctl status HTTPD. Click enter. See, guys, my service is disabled and it is dead. It is in dead state. I mean, it is not active state. Now I want to make it active, and the command for this is systemctl space. I want to start the service. Start is the command HTTPD. Okay, click on enter. I want to enable the daemon services also. System CTL space enable space HTTPD. Click on enter. See, sir, see guys, it has been enabled. System D, it has been enabled. Okay, now I'll check the status of it. Systemctl status HTTPD. Click on enter. See guys, now it is active and running. Okay. Now guys, what is the port number for HTTPD? See, interviewer guys will know how to check the port numbers for the services which you have installed. Netstat is a command to check the ports of the services. Okay, let's just type netstat whether it is going to work or not. Netstat space hyphen panel is an option, guys. Oh my god, what happened? Netstat command not found. That means netstat has not been installed in our operating system. Now I want to install netstat, and the command for that is yum install net hyphen tools space hyphen y. It is not. I'm giving the option advanced. Enter. Oh, now my netstat tool has been installed. Net tool has been installed. Now I will check the port netstat hyphen PANTL, or you can also do PUNTA. Anything is fine. Both are fine, guys. See, guys. Now I have installed HTTPD services, right? So for that, the port number. What is the port number? 80. So if I click on netstat hyphen PNTL option, if I execute this command, I should get 80 port number. See, guys. I have SSH, that is 22. I have one more SSH which I have been. See, guys. EC2 user, with which port I have logged in SSH. SSH is to connect with the servers launch which has been installed in AWS services, right? With AWS, in AWS, what we have installed VMware, that is VM instance, that is virtual machines instance. With that, we have logged it with the EC2 user with SSH port. And which one we have installed, guys? HTTP, we have enabled the service. So 80, it is listening, right? See, guys, HTTPD 80. 80 is the port number for HTTP service. Okay, now I have successfully installed my HTTP service. What will I going to do is that I'm going to copy this public IP, and then I am going to keep it over here. Let's just check whether it, yep, it worked, guys. See, guys, I have started the service. Due to that, default web page has came. Here you can see, guys, for system using Apache HTTP server, you may now add content to directory where www.html. Note that you will, until you do so, people visiting your website will see this page and not your content. To prevent this page from ever being used, follow the instructions in the file. So I have to make changes. I have to do the changes for client in this directory, in this path. So this is a default web page, guys. I've already told you what is the default web page for HTTPD. You can say etc httpd conf.d slash welcome.conf. This is the default web page, guys. If you don't make any changes, it is going to keep on appearing these pages. Now I am going to write a HTML for a client so that they can execute those web pages in their organization. So client will come up with some data and he needs some data with it, and he wants some type of web pages like e-commerce web page. You can take e-commerce anything, and we have created some web pages and giving it to the client. So for example, I'm going to create one HTML page, and what is the configuration file that you have, that is cd space, we have to go into that particular path, that is where www html, click on enter, do ls. Guys, there is nothing over here, there is nothing over here. Then create a file, that is index.html. So this is a file, index.html is a file which I am creating, and that output should come in that whatever we are writing in the index.html. So see guys, there is no support of vim over here. I mean, like, vim command not for guys. You can also install vim command, but already vi editor is there in this, so I'm not required that. If you guys want to try with vim, so the command is yum install vim hyphen y vim software plugins, everything is going to install in that. So index.html, vi space index.html. Index.html is a file, yes, which I'm going to create, and in this I'm going to write a sample HTML, which I've already sharing with you guys. Yeah, here it is. Let's copy this and paste it over here. Okay, guys. HTML, then the body PG color blue, background color green, blue, mark you, and I have closed the body and closed the HTML. Let's just save this, guys. Enter. And to update HTTP web server, which you have already created in the index.html, I have told you guys Apache CTL graceful is a command to update whatever we have made changes in the httpd.conf. Okay, graceful. Let's just click okay. Now it is done. Now guys, what I will do, I have already created a file in HTML, that is index.html, and once I'm going to show you guys index.html. See guys, this welcome to HTTP server, it should going to appear over here, and the IP is same, guys. See, IP is the public IP which I'm using. 16.170.247.29 is the IP address which I am using. See here. Now I'm going to refresh it. See guys, the output. This is the way to configure the HTTP web server. So guys, Now what I'll do, I am going to stop this. So in the real-time environment, how to check the logs. So for example, I'm going to stop this service. Okay, cd, I'll go back 3 steps back. Okay, now I will stop the service. System ctl space, not system, it's system ctl space stop http. See guys, I stopped the service. Let's check the status of the service once. See guys, inactive and dead. It has been stopped. My service has been stopped. Now, what we have to do, if a client coming and saying that my web page stopped working, what I have to do? See, can't reach speech. My web page stopped working, guys. No, we have to debug it. What happened? What happened? So I've already told you there is a configuration file for checking the logs, that is slash var log log httpd and do ls, guys. There are two things, two files over here, that is access underscore log, error underscore log. So we are getting a web page error, and the client came and saying that the web page you have configured and our team members cannot able to access it. And we what from our end, what we have to do, we have to go for var log httpd and check the error logs. Error log is then where we can find errors. Access log is that who logged in and logged out. We can find those information in access underscore log. And here what is the error. Let's just go for cat error logs and do. See, can see if suddenly if someone shutting down, here you can see shutdown. Shutdown. 1 second, guys. Here you can see now. See, forcefully it has been shut down. So these are the log error log file, guys. So here is the error log file, and wherein we can do a screen, take a screenshot of it, and we have to mail those guys. Mail our client. This has happened. It has been forcefully shut down. We are starting the services again. Okay. So 1 second, guys. I'm going to show you the shutdown configure. No, we can do. I mean, like we can start the services again now, guys. That is system ctl start httpd. Now I have started the service. Now let's just check the status of it. Click enter. See, now it is in active mode. Now what will I do? I'll go for my web page again, and I'll just check whether it is working or not. Yeah, it is successfully working. And again you can see the logs. See guys, now it is working. Let's wait for some more time. Let's run the service for a couple of time. Web page. If you do refresh, it is like it is running the web page for us. Now it will also run for our client, and we can see who are all logged into in access log. I just want to check the error log again. So this is the way, guys. So this is the way how you configure HTTP web server, how to write a web pages in where www html path. In that path we have to write the web pages, and after you save it, the command for that is apache ctl graceful, and after that you have to check with your public ip, and after checking with the public ip, you have to give those what are the changes you have made, you have that is being given to the client. So if they are finding any issues, and for that we have to go to access underscore logs or error underscore logs to check what happened. So see guys, I have found, see, shutting down. Here it has been shut down gracefully. Actually, this is what I'm finding. So now I found it. So doing graceful restart, whatever the changes we are doing, we have restarted it, we have doing anything. So here we have forcefully shut it down. This might happen in the real-time environment also. In this way, we have to check our logs. And I want to show one last configuration file, guys. That is vim space slash. This is a main configuration file, guys. Every interviewer going to ask this question: httpd conf slash httpd.conf. This is a important configuration file. Click enter. One second, guys. Oh yeah, click enter. Vi space slash etc httpd conf slash httpd.conf. So here, this is a configuration file where we can see our ports, which port we are it is listening. You can see here, guys, port number 80, that is httpd port, that is 80. So in this way we can check our main configuration file and everything. So here is the domain name, guys, server name www.example.com, port number 80. So here in the real-time environment, wherein we can change with the organization name, and we can keep up port numbers. So document root here, wherein we can keep our web pages. So we can also change our paths, but this is the main path. So this is the way to configure HTTP web server, guys. So please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. And I'm going to teach more in the coming days. That is, we can talk about Nginx servers, we can talk about Tomcat servers, we can talk about Maven, we can also talk about Jenkins. So if you keep on supporting me, guys, I'm going to share more latest videos to you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your support.